In the studio with us, we have Pat Benatar. Pat, you're from Brooklyn?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
Greenpoint.
Now, do you go back there and visit?
Once in a while, yeah.
And do, like, people you went to high school with come out of the
No.
woodwork?
I left when I was 3, but my family lives there, so some of my family.
Where did you go to high school?
On Long Island. Lindenhurst.
Lindenhurst.
Yes, Lindenhurst.
Did you go to your high school reunion?
Well, actually, no, because I was playing some huge concert, and somebody sent a letter saying, you know, we heard you wouldn't come because we wouldn't pay for the airfare.
Oh my God.
I said, yeah, right. So,
as though at that point in your career you would have said, no, you have to pay.
Right. But I missed it, yeah.
And how long did you live in the New York area before you moved to California?
I lived here till 78.
And then you moved westward until the earthquake.
I'll be moving back next week.
We were talking earlier about your songwriting, and how is it different now that you're a mom?
I don't know. I mean, it's such a big change in your life when you have children. It does an incredibly wonderful thing to people. You know, I'm sure people think that your life becomes extremely boring.
His children are your godchildren?
They're godparents to our daughter.
And no one's seen Hallie? Well, I mean, obviously you and Neil have, but...
We're there, but yeah, no, I mean, not publicly, no.
Is that a philosophy of yours to keep her out of the public eye?
I don't want anybody to see, you know. If she feels like doing something with her face later, that's her business, you know.
So you're not going to be you're not going to... Would you think that with the musical background of
you know me, what do you think?
I think that she's going to have a private tutor at home and never even allowed to go to school. What about when you go out on the road with touring?
Yeah, well, that's the other thing now, too, because she's in real school. We have to only tour in the summer, you know, because I don't want to disrupt her schedule. And then, yeah, it's just different, you know. It's.
Did you bring your parents out on tour once?
Once, because we had we had the nanny from hell, and, and we were out on the road. And this is your worst babysitting nightmare. It's not just for a day; it's for a month, you know. So, yeah, I had to call the parents out to come and like.
Didn't you get advice from Chrissy Hind once about how to handle life on the road with kids?
This is the most overblown statement. I saw her once backstage at the Universal Amphitheater once, and I said to her, you know, like, how are you doing this? I just had the baby, and she said, you just get a nanny and you go. And that was it. I mean, that was the end of the conversation. Yeah.
How does something like that get, you know, on all the news releases?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Pat, this is your Promises in the Dark video. Do you remember making this one?
Yes, it's a very long time ago. We did a series of maybe 2 or 3 at this. This was Fire and Ice and Promises in the Dark on a sound stage in LA, and we just had a live audience. So it was, you know, it was instead of doing epics, we started to do these kind of things again. So
this is pre-motherhood, Pat Benatar, and I would say this is pre-Mrs. Neil Giraldo as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Promises in the Dark. Right, how I got this job here, but they don't care. They care more about
but don't you feel like all those talk shows that you're ever on, when all these like people come on that know each other from like ages ago, talking about stuff, and you're going.
Most of what people say to me, and they probably say this to you all the time, is, Martha, you look so much bigger on TV. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
And I always say, how big is your TV? I gotta look like I'm bigger than 19 inches. I mean, at least, please. I'm telling you. Pat.
Bada boom.
Bada boom. We know you have to get Chrysalis. I'm just gonna segue right in. You must get Chrysalis records for free, I assume. But what is the last real record that you actually went into the record store and bought?
I just bought the Ricky Lee Jones record.
Really?
Yes, because I'm a fan of hers.
Does she know this?
I don't know. She does now.
She does now. Do you ever record duets with anybody?
I haven't, no.
I know. Why not?
I don't know. It just never came up, you know. No, just never. I don't know.
Obviously, you and Neil must sit around the kitchen, I imagine, and he strums the guitar. And
sometimes, yeah. We wrote Let's Stay Together at the kitchen table.
Really?
See?
What you
just
learn.
Like real life.
Here on Classic MTV. We have one more night with Pat Benatar, so if you have any urgent questions, you could call the MTV offices and give it to me. We're going to go out with this, the very first video that MTV ever played, which was Video Killed the Radio Star, and I'll be back with Pat tomorrow night.